Hey, Emma here. Welcome back to English Listening Tips. Today we're covering 5 common situations you'll encounter in English-speaking countries. Let's get started. Key vocabulary, specials, daily food items, not on the regular menu. How would you like that cooked? Asking about cooking preference. On the side, separate from the main dish. Listen to this conversation.
Hi there! Welcome to Riverside Cafe. Can I get you something to drink while you look at the menu?
Yes, I'll have a sparkling water, please. What are today's specials?
Today we have grilled salmon with roasted vegetables and our chef's special pasta with sun-dried tomatoes and basil.
The salmon sounds great. I'll have that.
Excellent choice. How would you like that cooked? Medium is our chef's recommendation.
Medium is fine. Could I get the sauce on the side, please?
Absolutely! Would you like any appetizers to start?
No thanks, just the main course will be fine.
Quick check with you. Pause the video and think about the conversation. What did the customer order? The answer is, the customer ordered the grilled salmon cooked medium with the sauce on the side. Now, let's get to our second situation, asking for directions. Key vocabulary, landmark. A recognizable building or feature, detour. An alternative route when the main way is blocked, junction, where 2 or more roads meet. Listen to this conversation.
Excuse me, I'm trying to find the Central Library. Is it far from here? I've been wandering around for almost half an hour.
The Central Library? You've actually gone in the completely opposite direction. This area can be quite confusing for visitors.
Oh no, I thought I was following my map correctly, so how do I get there from here?
Let me think for a moment. The most direct route would normally be straight down Oxford Street, but there's construction work blocking the road today. You'll need to take a slight detour.
Construction work? That explains the barriers I saw earlier.
Exactly. Instead, go straight down the street for about 2 blocks until you reach the major junction with the traffic lights. There's a historic clock tower on one corner. You can't miss it.
Straight for 2 blocks to the junction with the clock tower. Got it.
From there, turn right onto Cedar Avenue and continue past the underground station. After about 300 meters, you'll see a pedestrian crossing near a coffee shop called Daily Brew.
Right at the junction, past the station, to a pedestrian crossing by a coffee shop called Daily Brew.
Perfect. Cross at those lights, then take the first left into Library Lane. Continue for another block. The library will be on your right, across from Victoria Park. It's a large neoclassical building with columns in front and a statue of Shakespeare near the entrance.
That sounds quite complicated. Could you perhaps repeat the directions after the coffee shop?
Of course. After the coffee shop, cross at the pedestrian lights, take the first left into Library Lane, walk 1 more block, and the library will be on your right across from the park. Look for the columns and the Shakespeare statue.
Great, thank you so much for your detailed help. I think I can find it now.
No problem at all. If you get lost, most locals can point you in the right direction. Enjoy your visit to the library. They have a fantastic rare book collection on the 3rd floor that's worth checking out.
Quick check. Where exactly is the library located? And what are 2 distinctive features of the building? You can also just pause the video real quick if you have to. The answer is, the library is on the right side of Library Lane, across from Victoria Park. It has distinctive columns in front and a statue of Shakespeare near the entrance. Our third situation is shopping for clothes. Key vocabulary, breathable fabric, material that allows air to pass through, water-resistant, repels some water, but isn't fully waterproof, layering, wearing multiple thin garments instead of one thick one, tapered fit, narrower at the bottom than at the top. Listen to this conversation.
Hi there. I'm looking for a winter coat for my upcoming trip to Canada. I need something that can handle temperatures down to about minus 20 degrees Celsius, but I don't want to look like I'm wearing a sleeping bag.
I completely understand. You need something technical but still stylish. When exactly are you traveling and what kind of activities will you be doing?
I'm leaving next month, mid-December. I'll mostly be in urban areas like Toronto and Montreal, but I'm planning a weekend of outdoor activities like snowshoeing and possibly some beginner-level skiing.
In that case, you'll want something versatile. What size do you normally wear?
Well, that's actually a bit complicated. I usually wear a medium in European brands, but sometimes I need a small in American brands. It really depends on the cut.
No problem. We can try a few different options. For your requirements, I'd recommend looking at our technical parkas with removable layers. That way you can adjust based on your activity level and the temperature.
That sounds perfect. What are my options in terms of insulation? I've heard good things about down, but I'm concerned about it getting wet in snow.
That's a valid concern. We have these premium down jackets that are very warm and compress well for packing, but they come with a water-resistant outer shell to protect the down filling. Alternatively, we have these synthetic fill jackets that maintain their insulating properties even when damp.
I think I prefer the synthetic option for peace of mind. What colors do you have available?
The synthetic models come in charcoal gray, midnight navy, forest green, and this burgundy color, which has been very popular this season.
I really like that forest green. Could I try it on in both small and medium to compare?
Of course. The fitting rooms are just around the corner to your right. I'll hang both sizes in there for you. The coat has quite a few technical features, so I'll explain those while you try it on.
I think the medium fits better across the shoulders, but the small has a more flattering silhouette. It's a tough choice.
If you're planning to wear heavy sweaters underneath, I'd recommend the medium. The articulated sleeves give you good range of motion even with the slightly larger size. How does the length feel?
The length is good. How much is this model?
This particular coat is normally $249.99, but we're currently running our pre-winter sale with 20% off all outerwear. That brings it down to just under $200, which is an excellent value for a coat of this quality.
That's actually more reasonable than I expected. And you mentioned it has a warranty?
Yes, it comes with a 5-year manufacturer's warranty against defects. We also offer a 30-day trial period. If you find it's not warm enough for your trip, you can bring it back for a full refund or exchange.
Perfect. I'll take the medium in forest green. Do you accept contactless payment?
Yes, we do. I'll meet you at the register when you're ready.
Quick check. What color and size coat did the customer choose? What was the original price? And what special feature did the coat have regarding insulation? Pause the video again if you need some time to answer. The answer. The customer chose a medium-sized forest green coat with the synthetic insulation that stays warm even when wet. The original price was $249.99, reduced to just under $200 with a 20% discount. Now for our fourth situation, making a doctor's appointment by phone, key vocabulary, referral, formal recommendation from one doctor to see another specialist, copay, fixed amount paid by a patient for covered services, follow-up, subsequent appointment to check progress, urgent care, medical service for non-emergency but prompt attention. Listen to this conversation.
Good morning, Westside Medical Center. This is Patricia speaking. How may I assist you today?
Hello, Patricia. My name is Sarah Miller. I'd like to schedule an appointment with Dr. Johnson, if possible.
I'd be happy to help with that. Are you currently registered as a patient with our practice?
Yes, I am. I saw Dr. Johnson about 6 months ago for my annual physical examination. I believe all my insurance information should still be on file.
Perfect. Let me just pull up your records. Could you verify your date of birth for security purposes?
Sure, it's February 12th, 2000.
Thank you, Ms. Miller. I've located your file. I see your last visit was in November. What seems to be the reason you'd like to see Dr. Johnson this time?
I've developed a persistent cough that's been troubling me for about 2 weeks now. Initially, I thought it was just a cold, but it hasn't improved despite trying over-the-counter medications. I'm also experiencing some shortness of breath, especially when climbing stairs.
I'm sorry to hear you're not feeling well. Those symptoms definitely warrant a checkup. Given the respiratory symptoms, I'll need to ask, have you had any fever or been in contact with anyone who's tested positive for any contagious respiratory conditions?
I haven't had a fever, thankfully, and not that I'm aware of regarding exposure, though I do use public transportation daily.
I appreciate that information. Let me check Dr. Johnson's availability. Her schedule is quite full this week, due to several physicians attending a medical conference. Would you prefer a morning or afternoon appointment?
Afternoons would work better for me if possible. I have some flexibility with my work schedule, but mornings are usually quite hectic.
Let me see what we have. Dr. Johnson has an opening tomorrow at 2:15 p.m., or if that's too soon to arrange time off work. He has availability next Monday at 3:45 p.m. or Friday of next week at 1:30 p.m.
Tomorrow at 2:15 would actually be perfect. I'd rather not wait if possible, and I can shift some meetings around.
Excellent. I'll schedule you for tomorrow at 2:15 p.m. with Dr. Johnson. Since it's been over 3 months since your last visit, there will be a standard copay of $25 according to your insurance plan. Would you prefer to pay that tomorrow by card, cash, or through our online portal?
I'll just pay by card when I arrive tomorrow.
That works fine. Please arrive approximately 15 minutes prior to your appointment time to complete a brief symptom questionnaire and update any information if needed. Also, if you're experiencing any worsening of symptoms before your appointment, such as difficulty breathing or high fever, please don't hesitate to call us back or visit urgent care.
I understand. Thank you so much for fitting me in on such short notice.
You're very welcome, Ms. Miller. We'll see you tomorrow at 2:15 p.m. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No, that's all. Thanks again for your assistance.
It's my pleasure. Have a good day, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Quick check. When is the appointment scheduled for? What symptoms did the patient describe? And what is the co-pay amount? Pause if you need time to answer. The answer. The appointment is for tomorrow at 2:15 p.m. The patient described a persistent cough for 2 weeks and shortness of breath when climbing stairs. The copay amount is $25. Our final situation is a job interview. Key vocabulary, streamline, to make a process more efficient and effective. KPI, key performance indicator, a measurable value of performance. Cross-functional, involving multiple departments or areas of expertise. Initiative, the ability to assess and initiate things independently. Turnover rate, the percentage of employees who leave a company.
Good afternoon, Ms. Rodriguez. Thank you for coming in today. We've reviewed your resume and we're particularly impressed with your experience in customer experience management. Could you elaborate on your role at Meridian Technologies and some of the challenges you face there?
Thank you for the opportunity to interview Mr. Chen. At Meridian, I served as the Senior Customer Experience Specialist for just over 4 years. I was responsible for overseeing a team of 12 representatives across both our chat support and phone support channels. One of the most significant challenges we encountered was during the company's transition to a new CRM system, which initially created substantial backlogs in our response times.
That sounds like a complex situation. How did you approach resolving those backlogs?
Indeed, it was challenging. I implemented a 3-pronged strategy. First, I collaborated with our IT department to identify and resolve the most critical technical issues affecting efficiency. Second, I developed a temporary triage system that categorized inquiries by urgency and complexity. Finally, I conducted intensive training sessions focused specifically on navigating the new interface efficiently. Within 3 weeks, we had not only cleared the backlog, but actually improved our average response time by 12% compared to our pre-transition metrics.
Impressive. I see from your resume that your department achieved a 94% customer satisfaction rating, which is exceptional in the tech sector. What specific approaches or philosophies contributed to that achievement?
I believe several factors were instrumental. We implemented a comprehensive quality assurance framework that included regular call reviews and peer coaching sessions. But, perhaps more importantly, I advocated for greater autonomy for our representatives. We moved away from rigid scripts and instead focused on training them to make judgment calls within certain parameters. This empowerment led to more authentic interactions and more creative problem solving. We also instituted a feedback loop where customer insights were regularly shared with product development, which helped address recurring issues at their source.
That aligns well with our approach here. This position would require you to coordinate with multiple departments, including product development, marketing, and sales. Can you describe your experience with cross-functional collaboration?
Cross-functional collaboration was central to my role at Meridian. I initiated bi-weekly roundtable discussions with representatives from product development, marketing, and sales to ensure alignment on messaging and expectations. One particular success came when we identified a pattern of customer confusion regarding our premium subscription features. I worked with marketing to revise our materials and with the product team to improve the user interface. This collaborative effort resulted in a 23% reduction in related support tickets and contributed to a 7% increase in premium subscription conversions in the following quarter.
This position also requires someone who can work effectively under pressure, particularly during product launches and system updates. How do you manage stress in a fast-paced environment?
I've found that thorough preparation is key to managing high-pressure situations. Before major events like product launches, I develop comprehensive contingency plans for various scenarios. I also believe in transparent communication during stressful periods, keeping both team members and stakeholders informed about challenges and progress. On a personal level, I maintain effectiveness by prioritizing tasks rigorously and taking brief strategic breaks when necessary to maintain focus. During our most recent product launch at Meridian, these approaches allowed us to handle a 300% increase in inquiry volume while maintaining a 91% satisfaction rate.
That's very thorough. One aspect of this role involves identifying opportunities for process improvement. Could you share an example of how you've streamlined or improved a customer service process in the past?
Certainly. At Meridian, I noticed our returns process was generating significant customer frustration and consuming excessive staff time. After analyzing the pain points, I proposed and implemented several changes. We simplified the online return form, reducing it from 3 pages to 1. Integrated automated tracking notifications, and empowered representatives with greater discretion regarding exceptions to our policies. These changes reduced the average handling time for return-related inquiries by 40% and improved the customer satisfaction score for that specific journey from 67% to 88% within 1 quarter.
One final question. Our customer support team occasionally needs to work weekends or extended hours during major releases or events. How flexible are you regarding your schedule?
I fully understand that customer experience roles sometimes require flexibility beyond standard business hours, particularly in the technology sector. I'm comfortable working evenings or weekends when necessary for major releases, events, or urgent situations. In my previous role, I typically worked 1 weekend per month and made myself available during off hours for critical situations. I believe in leading by example, so during our major release weekends, I would be present alongside the team.
Thank you for those insights, Ms. Rodriguez. Your experience seems very relevant to what we're looking for. Before we conclude, do you have any questions about the position or our company?
Yes, I'm curious about your team's current priorities. What would be the most significant challenges or projects that I would be addressing in the first 6 months if I were to join your company?
Quick check. What 3-part strategy did the applicant implement to resolve the backlog issues during the CRM transition? And what was one specific result she achieved? Pause the video if you need time to answer. The answer: the applicant implemented a 3-pronged strategy: working with IT to resolve technical issues, developing a triage system categorizing inquiries by urgency and complexity, and conducting intensive training sessions. As a result, they cleared the backlog and improved average response time by 12% compared to pre-transition metrics. That was our last listening practice for today. Here are some practice tips to help you improve your listening skills. Practice with real conversations from TV shows, podcasts, and videos. Focus on understanding the main idea first, then details. Don't worry about understanding every single word. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Which situation do you find most difficult to understand in English? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching English Listening Tips. We will see us again tomorrow as always.